Today is Saturday, April 20th, 2019, and this is my 14th journal of my spring semester. This journal is asking me how I built my communication skills with my patients and their care team this semester. So, actually, one of my goals this semester was to get better at communicating. Not that I was leaving things out, but that I felt as if I couldn't explain things in not, medical terminology. I could explain things I needed to explain things in terms that the athletes and the patients would understand. And that was one of my semester goals because that's really important. Because I want them to be able to understand why I'm doing IFC, why I'm doing pre-mod, why I'm doing ultrasound, or what's this tape job doing, or what is this ACE bandage doing for you. It helps them kind of buy into their treatment plan or buy into, they think they're getting better because I've explained, these are the goals of this thing that we're using. So that was one of my, strict goals that I've really, really worked on this semester. When it comes to communicating with my patients this semester, I've added in, that I want to explain things more in terms that they would understand, as well as asking if, they have any questions, or do you feel like you're getting better? Do you think this is helping? So that's how I've helped with the patients and my communication skills. The second part to this question is my communication skills with their care team. So I would consider their care team, their coach, or I've spoken to a couple parents this semester at matches and things about, their child, the athlete that I was at that moment treating. Also, the preceptor that I am under is also a part of the care team because they're involved because they're overseeing what I think. At this point in my time in this semester, I've been given more freedom to, eval things and then come up with a treatment plan, or eval things and just take care of stuff, and then we discuss it after. I have found me and my preceptor a lot having conversations about, okay, hypothetically, if this happened, what should you do this, or should you do this, or what do you prefer, and why? So I think that really with mainly my preceptor and I, we have a lot of conversations about, what are her expectations, what she prefers, what she finds that has worked, and then based on that, I can try what I want, but I have a backup plan as, this works too. When it comes to coaches, I have gotten to have a conversation with a couple coaches about, their athletes' place at that moment, especially with one of the athletes that hasn't been cleared to play. The coach obviously has questions about, what stage are they at, or can she do this? Can she do this? Because now we're at the point where she can come and play, but no contact or anything serious like that. So going over practice plans with the coach, I've done that because I have some knowledge in that sport. I know what movements the athlete can and can't do at this stage, and her healing and treatment plan. So I can easily say, no, this is probably not a good drill for her, we can do this instead, or we can do this but no contact, or we can do this but she can't play on the inside. Just things like that. And it kind of helps, also get the athlete out there so they feel like they're involved, but not going too far and not, disrespecting the treatment plan or the healing phases or what stage she's in. And back to what I said about I've spoken to parents before at matches. It was an away team, to be exact, and their child rolled their ankle. I think they rolled their ankle. I did some special tests, and I went through the full eval and had negative special tests, and the only thing that was really like pertinent to me was very tender. But then at the end of the eval, he did say that like when he rolled it, he kind of drug his foot and it just left a little bit of a raspberry on the lateral side of their ankle. And that was where it was most tender because that was the place where the most trauma and the most contact was. So naturally, if you follow your children to their games because, you're proud of them, you want to see them play, they obviously approached me and they were like, what do you think? Are they okay? Blah, blah, blah. I proceed to say, I've went through an eval and I've checked for this, this, and this, and they were all negative, so that's really good. Just follow up with their athletic trainer when they get back. If anything severely changes, you have, the decision to take them to an emergency room or anything like that, and any changes like, this, and this you need to look for. And then I gave ice, and just because he wasn't swelling very much because I didn't think that it was that severe of an injury, and neither did my preceptor because we saw it happen. He didn't need an ACE wrap or anything like that on the way home. So we did ice, and if he was in severe pain, to take some ibuprofen and keep it elevated if it did start to swell. And that when they refer back to their ATU when they get back to their school, that they would do an eval, and if they have any questions, they can contact the Emory and Henry athletic trainer for tennis. And they were very happy that I kept them informed, and they also asked if I was actually the athletic trainer, which makes me feel good because I feel like I felt that meant that I was very professional and knowledgeable and prepared, which is, what I want to be. I love being prepared. But I was like, no, I'm just a student. And then they kind of bragged on me my preceptor, which, that always feels good. But really, I guess all in all, like in a summary, I've built my communication skills by learning how to explain things in terms that not everyone in, our section of the world would know. Putting it in terms that they would know. And some people know more, but it's easier to be vague. I have one professor here that always harps on if you can't explain it to a third grader, then you don't know it. And now I really understand that because that's the kind of the terms that you have to use, because some of the things that we learn are crazy confusing. So I get it. If you can't explain it to a third grader, then you really don't know it. So I definitely have achieved that goal this semester. But yeah, so this was my 14th journal of the spring.